The 2024 Harley-Davidson models will be coming out probably the next, I don't know, 25, 30 days. I wasn't going to make a video about this because there are so many, but I thought, you know what? I'll give my 2 cents and just let you know what I think. Be right back. And welcome to Bob's Garage. If this happens to be your first time here, my name is Bob. I make videos related to Harley-Davidson and everything that goes with it right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina region. And I try to post a video once a week, and all I ask in return is if you just give the video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And we're not here to make money. We're not here to turn a profit, none of that stuff. It's fun. And I know it's not for everybody. There are a ton of channels out there. I appreciate you guys spending 5 to 10 minutes with me once a week. And so a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I try to post a weekly video. Usually on Thursdays, I'll put something up for you to view. And this week I was going to talk about the 2024 models that are coming out. And, there are a ton of, it's all speculation right now. Very few people have any inside information. Harley's trying to protect the information. They had a leak when the new CBOs were coming out, and they're trying to prevent that. So far, we've seen some 2024 models come out, but again, it's just been models that have had no changes other than the paint color. So those are easy. They can release those. I had a comment because I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said, "Oh, these are just 2023s that they're just putting new color on," and that's not true because when they start manufacturing a motorcycle, it's assigned a VIN at the beginning. The VINs have one of the characters in the VIN indicates what model year it is. So these are all 2024s. These are not 2023s that are just getting painted. These are actually new models that are coming out 2024. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot on the internet about what's going to happen with 2024. And I've seen some really wild predictions. I just watched a video the other day where this YouTuber said that in their opinion, Harley was going to do away with the Batwing fairing. I don't buy that for a minute. I think the Street Glide and the Ultra, I think those are very popular bikes. And maybe the Road Glide is a better seller right now, but they're not going to do away with their Batwing fairing. There's just no way. Now, are they going to do away with the current Batwing and even the current Shark Nose fairing? Yeah, I don't think you're going to see them making 4 different fairings, because that's what would have to happen. Now that they've released this new fairing on the CVOs, I think you'll see that fairing carry on. It'll drop down to the other models. It'll drop down to the specials, the STs. I don't think there's going to be a standard model anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think the 107 is going away, but it doesn't make sense for them to have 4 fairings anymore. It wouldn't be cost effective. So now, I think that when you see this new design fairing, which I'm not a real big fan of yet, maybe it'll grow on me, but I think you're going to see that on the newer, on the drop down models, the specials, the STs. I don't think the infotainment system is going to be as good. I think the CVO has to have something special about it to warrant the price. And people that buy a CVO, they want something that no one else has. So I think you'll see the fairing drop down to the other models, but it won't be as fancy. It won't have as much high tech. Just my prediction. I have no inside information. I don't have any contacts. I have no connections, nothing. So other changes that I think, like I said, I think the 107 motor is going to go away. I said that last year and I was incorrect, but this year I think I'm right. I think the 107 is gone. I think the 114 is going to be the base motor. The 117s will be in the STs. Another prediction that I saw, someone has said that they had inside information, that they were told that all the motors now were going to have the variable valve timing. Every 2024 was going to have that. That's not true, because if that were, the 2024s that are hitting showroom floors right now would have it, and they don't. So I don't think you'll see the variable valve timing on every motorcycle. It's on the CVOs right now. Eventually, I think you'll see that on everything, but I don't think for 2024. You might see it on maybe the STs. The STs were designed to be the performance bagger. And, it's got a bigger motor. It's got a taller suspension. They made a few changes. It made it lighter. The front fenders is smaller and lighter. But I think you're going to see another model this year. I think you're going to see a true performance bike, a bagger with inverted forks. I think they're going to really do this performance bagger thing from the factory the right way. I could be wrong. We'll find out. So yeah, I think the true a real performance bagger is going to be in the works. Again, I haven't got any kind of source telling me that, but I think you're going to see that. I think they tried that with the STs, and I just don't know that it really hit the mark, because the ST, I own one. I love my Road Glide ST, but I don't see it as a performance bagger. Yeah, it's got a 117 and the suspension is an inch higher, but I mean, it doesn't have the performance stuff that you would really want. So I think they're going to do that from the factory. And what's funny is, from the factory, they're going to equip this thing like a true performance bagger, and everyone's going to strip it down and change it anyway. Like they did that on the ST. It comes with the Screaming Eagle torque cam. First thing people do is say, "Oh, I got to do a cam on my ST." It's already been done, but it's ridiculous how everybody is so concerned with that number on the side of the motor, and I need all that power that I'm never ever going to use, but whatever. If you want to spend all that money and add all that power to your bike, knock yourself out, have a great time. Uh, if 117 isn't big enough for you, then wow. But whatever. That's a whole different subject. So let's stick to the 2024 changes. I was afraid they were going to do away with the Softail standard this year, which obviously they didn't, because we have seen that in the showroom floors in the new gray that they're going to use, billiard gray. I like the new billiard gray. I didn't think I would. I thought it was going to look too much like primer, but after seeing it in person, I think it looks great. Doesn't look as good as black, especially on the Softail standard, because I just thought that bike looked great. I've got friends, John and Betty, who have matching Softail standards, and they've really tricked out their bikes unique to the way they like them, and I love them. They sound good, they look good, and I love that bike. It's a blank canvas it's not expensive, and you can just deck that thing out any way you want, make it into a little bar hopper. You can put a set of bags on the back if you want to, and do some minor touring. It's a really great bike. I'm glad they didn't get away with it or do away with it. So that's sticking around. The Street Bob is sticking around. The Fat Bob, unfortunately, I believe is going to be gone, which is really a shame, because if you've never ridden one of those things, man, that bike is a blast. We were at Speedway for the demo truck, I think it was like 2 years ago, and I thought, you know what, I've never ridden one of these. What have I got to lose? I took it out for a spin, and man, I had a grin on my face the whole time. It's just a fun bike to ride, and if it's gone, it's a shame. But speaking of the demo truck, my core group of friends, you've met some of them. I've had them here on the channel. I haven't told them this, but this coming year, this spring, I want to get all of us together, head over to Speedway Harley-Davidson when they have the demo truck, and just ride some bikes that we normally wouldn't ride. All the 2024s will be there with all the changes and everything. But, I've never really gotten out on a Sportster S or a Nightster, and it's not a bike I would buy, but why not take it for a spin, have a little fun with it, and just experience things that you normally wouldn't. I always said I would never buy a bike with a fairing, because I don't like windshields or fairings. I was always riding, Road Kings and stuff like that. But the demo truck was there one time, and I took a Road Glide out, and I'm like, wow, this thing is great. Now I own one. So you never know, take it out, and they give you a free lunch, go over and ride some bikes and have a great time. So I'm going to suggest that to my group. So if you guys are watching, plan on that happening. But back to the 2024s. Color-wise, we've already talked about the colors. I think there'll be other colors that we haven't seen yet that'll be coming out. You're going to pay extra for black. Man, it's if it's not broke, don't fix it. But they've got to come out with something new to get you to buy a bike. So I've already told you that I thought that the Road Glide and the Street Glide were going to be equipped with that new fairing. I do think the standard models of those bikes are going to go away. I think you're going to have a choice between the Special, either in black or chrome, with the new fairing, or the ST, probably with the new fairing, or the CVO. And then I know that's this performance bike I think they're going to come out with. Again, this is total speculation. I may be wrong, but I don't think you'll see that in the Street Glide. Something just tells me it's going to be a Road Glide. I think they're going to model that right off of the King of the Baggers. I think it's going to be a Road Glide only, inverted front forks, true performance bike. But I think this new fairing, like I said before, it won't have all the bells and whistles that the CVO does. But as far as new models, I would love to see them come out with the Bronx. I would love to see them. Now, it's not a bike I would buy, but I think it would fill that gap in Harley-Davidson. And look, everyone said that, Harley has to build these big touring bikes and these, whatever. But, they were really successful with the Pan America. Whether it's not, again, I'm not an adventure bike guy, but that is a great bike. It sells well. It's priced right. The reviews have been fantastic on that bike. If you read any of the reviews, Cycle World or whatever, they rave about that bike. So Harley did a great job on that. I think like a 950, a smaller one, would be a huge hit. Um, you know, I think they wanted to put one out to see, just test the waters. But now that it's selling well, let's come up with another one and let that line grow a little bit. I would love to see the Bronx, but I don't think we're going to. What else? It's funny because I watch these videos and I don't know where people are getting their information from, but some of the stuff that you hear and some of the stuff that you read is just crazy. And every year it's the same thing. That's why I didn't want to do a video, because I don't have any inside information. I don't want to tell you a bunch of stuff that isn't true. But I just wanted, I was watching these videos. I thought, what, some of this stuff is so absurd. I got to say something. So that's it. Those are my fearless predictions for 2024. I may be wrong. I may be right. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It should be a good year. I got a lot of really cool rides planned. We're going to go to Daytona this year, and I'm looking forward to that. I just want to ride more. I probably did about 15,000 miles last year. I'd like to do more than that if possible. We'll see. I don't know. But hey, look, thanks for coming along for the ride and listening to me blather here for 15 minutes or so. I appreciate it. You guys ride safe, ride often, and I'll see you in the next one.